kind of money.
Hey everyone, Squee913 here. Welcome back to Mass Effect Ironman's edition. Let's do this. Let's go get our Prothean. Again. Totally gonna get our Prothean again, and we're totally gonna ignore everything he says. Again.
I was here the first time you got a Prothean.
Yeah, you were. By the way, Inferno's here.
Hi. No. By the way, this guy showed up.
If you hear clicking in the background,
it's because you're clicking.
Clicking in the background.
Yeah.
I had
wow.
to explain this to the new people.
Okay, yeah, I can notice that. If you look at the uniform, you can see like the little fabric things, and that's kind of cool.
17 gigs of little fabric things.
Yay! Well, like I said, if it's not bugging my game at all, it's not like my computer doesn't have the space.
It'd be difficult for a texture mod to bug a game, frankly, in my opinion.
Yeah, so you can definitely see some better textures here and there. It's cool. If it doesn't mess with my game and I don't really need the space, I'll leave it in. If that changes, I won't. Why not?
I'll tell you why not.
Yeah, I'll tell you why not, you son of a bitch.
Look at them HD eyebrows, yo. Oh man, Inferno, she got her eyebrows.
Did she get uglier?
Yeah, she got her eyebrows back.
Oh, okay.
But that's kind of the one time if she dies again, straight up duck face. I've already made that rule. When she dies again, she's getting duck face.
I'm assuming duck face just means really pursed lips, right?
Not pursed, pursed and sticking out like a duck bill.
Like if it was a caveman.
Yeah.
Gave you the vision that warned us.
Like if it was a caveman. Thank you.
And where you went up against Saren in the jet for the first time, no?
Oh, her giant eyebrows.
And now with Cerberus here.
Maybe she was meant to
Eden
die.
Prime's colonists are under attack again.
Maybe.
My bad.
Seems like more than just 3 years ago.
How bad?
A lot of dead civilians.
I can
Lost
definitely
one of
tell
my
the
men,
difference.
Jenkins, who had Geth drone.
Reports said Saren had bombs set up to wipe out the whole colony.
Why?
Not on my watch.
Damn straight, Lola.
Cerberus hit Eden Prime hard. Whatever they found here was worth a major offensive.
Sorry,
The
I just glanced over and didn't know what Sia was. I'm like, why is Shepard raising her hand?
She has the answer.
They deserve better.
Ooh, me! Pick me!
Liara, pick me.
The answer, the Reapers are gonna kill us all?
We find survivors.
The answer is always the Reapers
What
are going
about
to kill
this
us all.
artifact? Is it part
Answer
of the
my
protein device we found on Mars?
Is blowing in the
The
wind.
Alliance didn't get any
The
specifics
answer
about what
is the
Cerberus
Reapers
has
will
uncovered.
kill us
But
all.
whatever it is, it's better off with us than with Cerberus.
I'm bringing you in as close to the dig site as I can.
Oh,
Shut
No
up,
one will avoid detection,
Steve!
but you should have a few minutes.
Steve!
are you okay?
Beef!
Alright, everyone, get ready to move.
Steve!
With
Steve!
The dig
What?
site before
Land there,
Cerberus knows
please.
we're here.
So,
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum.
who's that from? Is that Nash? Nash?
I have no idea. All I know is that
No sign of survivors. Come
Squeeze
on, we
yells
need to find the
Steve
dig
all the
site.
time. And
It's from a scene towards the end of this game
Colony wants.
where
They
that
came
that
back
pilot's
after
name
the
is
Geth attack.
Steve,
Oh, yeah.
and his ship gets hit, and male Shepard seems to put way too much emphasis. Like he gets hit, and then it's like instead of like Steve, are you okay? It's Steve, are you okay? it's just so out of
Are you
place.
okay?
It makes you think that Steve was supposed to die in this, too.
Yeah, like I mean, if you were in a relationship with him, it kind of makes sense. But if you're not, it's just kind of like Shepard. Whoa, you're really upset. Steve, you okay, man? Yeah, and that's the weird part about it too. It's not like
Bits of
hang
protein
on.
tech sticking out of the ground like an old bone.
Hey, Liara, you ever find dinosaurs while you're digging around?
No, dinosaurs and other fossils would be paleontology. I'm an archaeologist. I study artifacts left by sapient species. The two fields are completely different, and... you were joking.
Hey, I just like dinosaurs.
that's why I love Vega. He's so awesome. Hey, Liara, you ever find dinosaurs? I'm not a paleontologist. Oh, you were joking. No, I just like dinosaurs. He's so simple. I mean, like in a good way.
Yeah.
No, but it's not like he was like, Steve, are you okay? It was just, Steve, are you okay?
I'm gonna do that
so
next time.
Weird and
Next time you leave the call with something, I'll be like, Squee!
What? Oh,
Are you back?
yeah.
Squee! How are those knuckles?
Oh, Jesus.
Did you say Cheez-Its?
Sure.
I don't like Cheez-Its.
What do you like?
Popcorn.
Steve!
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Squee! What's your favorite food?
Shepard, this Cerberus data could help the colonists still alive on other parts of Eden Prime.
How?
I can get this intel to Eden Prime's resistance.
Oh, I don't care.
Maybe it will help them fight.
Yes,
Oh,
I will get
I
into
know.
their resistance, etc., etc. Ooh,
He has a point.
ooh, we
Snake.
had a conversation earlier that you might find enjoyable with your educational background.
Ooh.
We were talking about the kid blowing up,
Uh-huh.
and we were basically we'll cover.
I'm in my brain, I'm like, where is this going?
No. We were talking about how Piff was saying that it didn't have as great an effect because you didn't see the child die. You just saw there was a disconnect because he got in the ship and then the ship exploded. You didn't actually see, it was different than someone just walking up and shooting him in the head. And I do state that this is personally, I don't know if this is normal, but to me there is no difference. I saw a violent act that ended a life, whether I see the actual body damaged or not. It's as long as it's instantaneous, because there's a big difference between watching someone die like that and then like watching them burn to death. That's different.
Exactly. There's a significant difference between the shock of looking at something violent and then the deep emotional sadness you get from the loss of human life, whether you know the person or not. It depends on how much empathy you have, right? But for high empathetic people, you don't have to see them like die a grisly death or die before your eyes. You just have to see something traumatizing and know that they are dead for a significant emotional impact. So yeah.
I will say I am actually rather pleased with this. I can really tell a difference in the armor. But of course that's, because I've never seen this before. I'm sure I'll get used to it.
An incredible opportunity.
But I like it. But yeah, and I was saying that, a part of it might just be me, but I understand that some people, it's very different if they see someone get in a car and then the car explodes as opposed to actually seeing them get shot in the head. To me, there's really no difference, but I could see why other people might not be as affected by it.
Good thing we brought our Prothean expert.
I hope I can help.
But basically the idea was that the child was kind of a fail because you didn't have a big emotional connection to him. Me, it was a success because I took it to mean he kind of became the symbol. Like Shepard was trying as hard as she could not to think about it, but that forced her to think about what was going on, and he kind of became the poster boy. Does that make sense? So not knowing a lot about the child worked because it was more of a symbol of what was going on instead of that. It wasn't that that particular child died. It was that that child started to embody everyone dying to her. That's what I took it to mean, or what I thought they were going for.
Yeah. No, that's a good way of taking it.
Yeah, my thing was like, I didn't really find that there was enough emphasis on having the kid as a symbol and just focused on the kid itself.
Yeah, I just thought it was like just this kid that got gacked, right?
That your character somehow, that kid meant a lot more to him than everything else.
Now, and what I did agree with is that I think what BioWare was going for was what I said, but if most people did not also think that, then they failed on some level. If the majority of the audience does not pick up what they were trying to do, then that's not really a success. And if I picked it up simply because I get teary-eyed more than most people, then that's not really... It's a success for me, but it's not what you would call an overall... They probably should have done a better job.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people, they...
To help the colonists.
oh, well, it won't matter to say now, because that was one of the questions I was asked during the Kingdom Hearts 2 Let's Play. And I'm one of those people, I get teary-eyed a lot, and not just at, like, sad moments, but at really great moments, like, oh, what's a good example? I don't know. It doesn't have to be sad. Of course I get a little teary-eyed at sad moments, but, like, if a whole movie's been building up to a moment, and then the moment happens, and it's just really, really cool, I'll kind of get teary-eyed at that, too. I'm a sap.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know. So it makes sense that that would work on me more than it would work on other people.
Yeah.
Because it was funny. There are friends of mine that would be like, they understand getting teary-eyed at sad moments, but it would be trying to think of an example. All right, here's an example. I don't know if I really got teary-eyed at this moment, but just this kind of moment where in the Avengers movie, the Hulk the whole time, he's been trying to, is he a good guy or a bad guy? And at the end, he's like, you know, I got this, I'm always angry. And then he transforms and punches that thing, right?
Yeah.
That kind of moment where that whole movie's been building up to it. I could get teary-eyed at that kind of moment. And my friends would be like, dude, what are you... It's not so sad. What what are you doing? Like, it's just... It's cool. Leave me alone.
Actually, no, I mean, whatever you find impactful, you find impactful.
Actually, what I should have said is, I mean, like, that creature, he punched it. It didn't deserve it. It doesn't know any better. It's just an animal.
He's no Muppet.
True, he is no Muppet.
I love this machine gun because if I'm in cover and I control my rate of fire, it's actually rather accurate.
Perfect.
Yeah, is this place called Eden Prime?
Yeah.
A real chance to push Cerberus out of their colony.
It's because I was like, I could have sworn it is, but I have to double check.
This is Eden Prime. Looks a bit different than the first game.
Yeah, just a touch.
They had a facelift.
Boys, it's an entire planet.
Yeah, it's not Sunset.
It'd be really weird just like somebody went to Earth and was just like, this place looks different than the place I landed to before.
You landed in like a rainforest the first time, like a desert the second. There's something.
This is the same planet.
Really? Come on. You know, one thing that I just saw today that kind of blew my mind. Okay, just because I never really thought about it. Okay, there was I was watching a show, and the show doesn't really matter anyway. I was watching a show called West Wing, and someone was submitting to the government that our maps are socially unequal, because the main map you see, for example, land sizes are distorted to try and make longitude and latitude right, but it does things like make Greenland look as big as Africa and make Alaska look bigger than Mexico. And they were saying that to us we equate size with importance. And they also said that since the northern hemisphere is on top and the southern hemisphere is on bottom, we put that top-bottom mentality. And they were like, so how do you fix this? You can't. Where do you put the north other than on top? They said you put it on bottom. And they flipped the map upside down with the names correct. And at first I was like, but that's silly. You can't do... Wait.
I think that's kind of...
But you really could, because even though we naturally think north is up, south is down, it's not. It's really not.
Well, as far as the Earth, I mean, it is sure a matter of perspective. You're right.
Because if we from day one said that the South Pole was the top and the North Pole was the bottom, I mean, how would you tell the difference? You wouldn't. So, like, at first I was like, that's ridiculous. You can't do that. That's north and... Wait. No. No, you really could do that. Of course you wouldn't, but you could. And I was like, I was so ingrained to me that the Earth is up and down, and that's just the way it is. And then I had to think about it and realize that that's not true at all.
Nope.
Although, like, as far as the Earth goes, like, while you're, like, if you're looking outside the planet, yeah, like, there is no thing, because it's spinning in orbit, and it's, you know, kind of slowly turning on its axis. It depends where you're orbiting in it and that type of what.
Oh no, just you were being drowned out by the cutscene. I don't care if we talk over the cutscene because
we just
yeah, but you were being drowned out by it, so I wanted people to make sure they heard what you said.
Okay, but like if you're on the planet, there is such thing as like a north, right? Like the magnetic north.
Right.
That's what we use to determine the north.
Right, but the idea that north is up or is above is like theoretically speaking, it just means north is a direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't get a solution to this, though. Mainly because if you're going to have a map, there's going to be a top and bottom to a map. Even if somebody gives you a, like...
No. The problem was that it promoted Western civilization because Western society was on top and the Southern Hemisphere was on bottom, where a lot of third world countries are. So the idea was that if you flip it, the mentality, we would put more importance to third world countries because they would be on top and we would be on bottom. Would that really happen? I don't know. But that was their goal. The whole thing was kind of silly.
I'm gonna put a amazing sticker on there.
But I would agree that, you know, psychologically speaking or whatnot, a lot of people do kind of say on top is better.
You didn't?
No. All I saw was static.
But
Cerberus was trying
would
to
it
make
really
sense of
change our
without
view
success.
of Africa? I don't
The
think
Prothean
so.
cipher you received on Pharaohs, it lets you see the images as a
Do we have a
Prothean
view
would
on Africa?
and understand their
I'm
language.
saying individuals' views. I'm not saying we have a stance on it. I'm saying would it change how anyone feels about Africa if we flip it upside
Then you
down?
just need
I
the
don't think
signal
so.
they use to activate
And I'm not saying
the
that people
system.
feel badly. I'm just saying that whatever your views are, why would they change?
Well, it would be nice to actually look at a map in another kind of perspective.
It
Because
was
I've always
pretty
seen
weird.
the United States in a very particular way.
It was pretty weird. I paused the video and I watched it for a while because basically I tried to stop thinking of it as the world upside down and tried to think of it as just the world, and it looked like a completely alien world. It was weird. That's why I had like that, whoa, mind blown.
A game needs to freaking do that. Just be like, this is an alien world, and just have the freaking like landmass just flipped upside down.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I don't think too many people would actually notice.
Well, if you could see the whole world, you probably would notice. But if you only saw bits and pieces of it, like if you only saw, you know, America and Canada together, instead of, because, you know, you don't have the clear defined lines of the country, they might not be able to notice.
You know, see, this is the thing. I mean, like, I understand the sentiment. It was a little corny by turning everything upside down and see, we're not on top anymore, right? Like, I understand the sentiment, and then that's fine. But really, I mean, even if we started looking at our maps upside down, we would no longer just ascribe. We would still ascribe like our chunk of land as being important and every other chunk of land being unimportant.
Right.
Like, do you really think people in South America think they're somehow lesser because they're on the bottom hemisphere? No, to them the bottom hemisphere is the better one, right?
Right.
So that rationalization can happen throughout humanity, right? The problem is the actual map, which was really supposed to be used as a way, you know, of cartology, of knowing where things are on the planet. But, you know, the second, I think it happened beforehand, but once, you know, the British started invading, they're like, look how much of this map we own that is ours, right? And then you start getting that mentality of, it starts to really foster the, you know, us versus them, you know, the more equals better, the location equals better type of thing.
Right.
The International Space Station, however, is the best way. Oh, what's up?
No, I just missed with a grenade.
Yeah, I saw that. A second time. Alright, but the International Space Station, see, now that's the best way to look at the world, because it's not a map anymore. You go up and you look at the planet, and like you said, Squee, like there are no lines, there's nothing, right? Like everyone is on this giant, like very fragile blue orb that's soaring through space. And you realize that we're all on this thing together, right? Like, the whole map and territories and all that bullshit means nothing from that perspective, when you really are able to step back. But yeah, the intrinsic idea of a map and divvying out territories and stuff like that—that's the problem. Well, it's not a problem. I mean, it's how you interpret it, right?
Right.
Like,
Honestly,
I can look at a map and not be like, "Hey, look at me, I'm superior."
It is very interesting though, because we get so used to looking at maps that we think, like for example, you know, most of us are told in school that the sizes are distorted so that you can have the straight lines. And that those straight lines were actually there to help us cross the oceans and stuff. So you're told that in high school, but whenever you show someone a map of like the real sizes, most people, it's like, whoa, I didn't realize, you know, like Europe was so small, or you know.
Yeah,
it's kind of
I mean,
cool.
that's the thing about like Canada, right? That's the funny thing too, is that we're always told we're the second largest country in the world, right? Before all the ifs in, like, second largest country, fine, right? But we're only about 10% larger than the United States. It looks like we're bigger, but it's because of the certain maps that's used. It stretches out the North and South poles, right?
Right.
And then they also tell you that half of our nation is also permanently frozen. So, kind of hard to live on half. I mean, it's not impossible. But as far as like livability, like being able to farm, that sort of thing, it's not like, you know, we have all this wonderful land. We still do, but I mean,
is there wigwams up there?
Wigwams? No. There are Native American abodes, but I don't believe they're called wigwams. I think that's a particular Native American culture. Kind of like the Protheans. I bet you should ask them if they have wigwams. Oh no, the Reapers are blowing them up.
You better ask them quick.
Wigwam.
Better ask them quick.
Wigwam.
You will wig because we demand it. You will wom because we require it.
I still like that last night. Inferno, you're like, I'm a horn dog, but I wouldn't do a Reaper. I don't know, Inferno, come on. If they wear the right clothes and they butter you up the right way, a little lingerie, a little alcohol, maybe some chocolate.
I don't care. I could drink all the alcohol in the universe. It won't make a giant...
They've got toys.
Robot death machine. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Their sacrifice will be
I mean, I don't think I'd be opposed to it.
Well, yeah, but that's because you were a Prever. I do like one of the guys, like, I'd screw a Reaper. I'm like, yeah, but you'd screw a warm bagel. He's like, let's be honest, I'd screw a cold bagel. I'm like, you're like my little horny child that I never had.
I've got the signal the Protheans used.
When is the new DBZ League uploaded? Monday through Thursday. You can go. You can go to the Twitch page that you're at right now and just go to the videos and watch it. You can do that.
Now with 30% more sass.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't actually mean there to be any sass at all. I was just saying you could do that.
I know. I tease.
No, but I realized that it was kind of sassy. It just wasn't intentional. Oh, dude, Inferno. Something happened that never happens. Okay,
I can't think of
one of the guys that was being a real big asshole on the Naruto stuff.
Oh, and let me guess, he apologized?
Yeah, he just left a comment saying, you know what, I was being wrong, I'm sorry. And I was like, yeah? Well,
right, because typically when you give resistance to stuff like that, they become more defensive. But hey.
Well, it wasn't the one that you left a comment to. I'll just put that out
I didn't think him.
No.
But someone else.
But yeah, basically he was saying that we weren't real fans, and I left a comment. I was rather polite. I was like, I'm sorry, could you tell me one thing I've said about the show that was wrong? I love Naruto, and I'm just as big a fan as anyone else. And then he just like, you know what? And he'd been really like sent like 6 or 7 comments that were really rude. And then he was all of a sudden just like, you know what? I've been a dick. I'm sorry. I was like, what? Can I frame you?
Oh, that's one thing that bothers me. You see, now that kind of like geeky culture has become acceptable and, you know, kind of relatively, you know, pervasive, is the idea of a true fan. Like, okay, listen, like, is that what, like, enjoying something is now is that it has to become a second job, and you have to learn everything about it before you can consider yourself a fan. For me, I always thought a fan was someone who enjoyed it, who enjoyed something, who authentically enjoyed it. Like, I'm a fan of Game of Thrones, right? I'm a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right? Does that mean I have to know and people know a lot about these shows because they enjoy it so much. So they watch it, they're interested in it, they're active in the community. But, like, to put a qualifier on this person is a fan and this person isn't a fan because of some sort of arbitrary knowledge requirement is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Well, to play a little bit of devil's advocate, it is only a little different in this situation simply because we're hosting a show about it. And typically, yes, if you are hosting a show about it, you'd want to at least get people that know what they're talking about.
Well, yeah, you should know what you're talking about. It's like,
But the thing is, in this case, we are, because he knows a lot about the game, but not a whole lot about the show. I know a lot about the show, but not a lot about the game. We balance each other out.
A fan of the game,
right? So we balance each other out. So I'm still with you. I mean, it's still inappropriate because we are fans in our own right. But I will at least agree with them that if you're going to be hosting a show, you shouldn't just drop random people in there or people that are even just casual.
They've retracted the bridge.
If you're hosting it, you should.
But my argument is this elitism of
I'm with you.
This person is a true fan and this person isn't. Okay, like I didn't realize that you were born. As soon as you came out of the womb, you had Naruto, knowledge, directly into your head. Like, do they not realize that they started out as well, and would they appreciate being told that they're not a true fan despite their feelings for really enjoying the show and wanting to know more about it?
You see, what it is, Inferno, it's whether or not you can pronounce the names right. That's what determines.
Which is ridiculous.
I know!
It's a Japanese show.
I know!
Once you speak Japanese fluently, I got bad news for you. You're gonna fuck up on some of the pronunciation.
It's even worse than that, because it's a Japanese show, but the majority of people watch the English dubbed, which has different pronunciations for it. So which one are we talking about here? I mean, there's technically two acceptable ways to pronounce it, because there's the dubbed version and the original version. And you're trying to tell me there's only one way.
It just hurts my brain, Squee.
It hurts me too. But the fact that one of them actually was man enough to apologize is actually, it warmed my soul. Yeah, because it reminds me that, humans aren't that bad all the time. I haven't lost faith in humanity yet.
All the time.
God, you guys remember when shields used to be a problem?
Yes. In, I think it was the the Dark Ages?
I was referring in this game. But yeah! Them too.
I have bad news for you, Squee. People use shields up to, like, Greco times and before. The Egyptians use shields.
We still use shields. Riot shields.
Yep.
I wouldn't say they're a problem.
I don't know. Ask the people who are rioting.
Actually, yeah, riot shields are difficult because most of them, well, the good ones, are bulletproof.
Freaking back in the day, shields were always in your way, talking smack about your wife.
Wait, I don't... What? I don't...
Have you... you didn't see any documentaries on shields, did you?
I guess not.
Effing noob.
I'm sorry!
Raffle.
You're not a true shield fan.
Yeah, you're not a true shield.
Alright, Spiff, I want you to watch this. There you go. And that is why I don't really need to save the grenades for the big guys. I still will, but that's why I love this gun. And brutes go down even faster than that.
Yes, but what's its name?
It's Susan.
Not a true fan of the
Damn it! I can't name it Susan. Shepard's a girl. The gun should be named a guy. The gun's gonna be named... No, wait, but Shepard likes Liara, who's... I don't know, I'm so confused.
It was blue, so red. Your name is red.
It's like, should I name the gun a guy or a girl? I don't know.
There. You can open the life pod now.
Sam.
Because it's weird, and I've covered this before, it's not really even that the Shepard is a lesbian per se. I think that she probably, on average, might find guys more attractive, but it's just that there was a special exception for Liara. There was a connection there that made them fall in love,
She's a Liara sexual.
Yeah, she's...
And when you're attracted to a species that is asexual, like, the only reason why we have... Well, I guess you could kind of say feminine, because, you know, they give birth and all that stuff, but, like, they're monosexual is what they are.
There, you've got it.
Right.
So,
Got it.
yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but...
I do.
Monosexual!
I do!
I'm glad you thought about it.
Consciousness.
I'm glad I thought about it.
You know what?
too.
That's an interesting question to ask, though. Would, like, gay men find Asari attractive? That would
Probably
be...
not, because they have very feminine traits.
Very true.
See, to us, they're female. To them, they're just, you know, sorry, right?
Right.
But to us, like, they have mammary glands, they have, you know, they can give birth, they have very feminine facial traits. I mean, they're pretty much the reason why they're so sexualized by the video game community.
Be careful, he's confused.
Is because they're women. If this was a monosexual thing where they looked very masculine and they were men, but they could give birth so they could propagate the species, or they laid eggs or something, people would be like, not as many. Well, not as many
Remember,
men.
it's been 50,000 years for us, but for him,
Well,
it's
I
only
wonder,
been...
is it because they are female because they always give birth?
Well, I would say that, logically speaking, if you were only going to have one gender, it would make sense that it would take more of a feminine trait. Because giving birth, feeding the baby, you know, all that stuff. Though, maybe it'd be like a hybrid, like they'd have female traits, but also be very muscular. I don't know. Who knows?
It's blue.
It's
Blue is
freaking
masculine.
evolution. The fact that they even look remotely like humans is kind of stretching it.
Love how a color can be masculine. It really can't, but it's funny to think through the things, so. Because color, you know, that orange, yes.
People. How am I to rebuild an empire from
Feminine, there, dude. The orange feminine. Do you disagree? Do you agree?
I
I have
You're
no
wrong
idea.
either
Are you
way.
talking about Oompa Loompas? Like, what are you talking about? Orange feminine.
Yes.
I think he was talking about Oompa Loompas. You won the answer, Inferno!
Yay!
He didn't even have to poll the audience or use a lifeline.
Oh. Yay.
Oh my so God.
I got this.
You now know you have some options.
Shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
How many others?
Just you.
Yeah, I can skip
You can
stuff.
understand.
Yes.
So you were
Our
right.
last moments.
They never get.
I'm surrounded. You
Skip,
fight.
Yes.
skip, skip to the loo. Skip, skip, skip to the loo.
Are you a giant stink bug?
No. Well, maybe. Someone quick, squish him.
We can't do that. He's the last
That's
one.
correct, Admiral.
Can we smush like a part of
Understood,
you?
Admiral.
Can you excrete?
I'm on my way.
Protheans have like skunk glands. I can see the difference. Actually, the weird part is, I'm seeing the difference much more in the character models than I am in the environment.
What's the problem?
I've tried to make the room more accommodating, but they're not letting me talk.
Apologies, Doctor.
Fair enough.
Did you see that grate? That's a great grate.
We have not said a word to each other yet. We just keep looking at each other. Images. Lots of images, but no words.
Why would they?
We pieced together.
The what?
It's a very quiet room.
Only those who share my.
Nothing in our.
Everyone's looking at each other, but not saying anything.
Never mind.
Javik, Shepard, Liar, Shaver.
It's our psychic
Never
link.
seen a
It was complicated. We evolved as hunters.
beginning to understand
Late memory.
things like
Yes. I can
That's how the conversation should be going. Squee, Inferno.
If he were my enemy,
Yeah.
I would have given him a wide.
What?
We are dead now. When I was born,
I
Liara,
just
what was
did an
the-
entire conversation to you guys.
when I was
You
born,
didn't even notice.
we
Wow.
were one.
what if
They weren't given a choice.
I honestly don't know. Okay, I'm going through all this conversation because I don't know if it matters or not, but it might maybe affect a future
back
conversation.
on even
The Empire.
So,
Oh, that's what they're doing.
just
They're trying to be an anime.
But when the
well. Is there any?
we heard only. By that point,
Well, if we don't finish it soon, the same will be true of us.
What can you tell us about your own?
many of the those there were memory shards, however.
Sheva.
During, if I say
Yes,
The scientists.
more of my,
No.
I never saw the city.
How did your
A
people?
entire
I must have.
then turned against us.
The several.
During, if I
yes.
The scientists.
more of
No.
I never saw the citadel.
Why do you think?
I love that question. Why did you lose? Frickin' Reapers.
What can you tell me?
Many those there were.
You know what his answer should have been?
Thank you for
Take a
talking.
look out the window. Do you see that? Yeah, that's why.
There's also the
The
celebrity.
The
lizard,
dice were against me.
though I see
I understand.
I got critical ones everywhere.
The Reapers used hacksaws.
I hate it when they do that.
Ah, man. I don't know
They
if we've
used a
been,
broken build. We're gonna have to ban
if
that.
we've been going half an hour or not. I don't even know if we've been.
I don't even remember the last time we stopped. So I think
you
we're
know what?
pretty
I'm just
over
gonna.
it.
I'm gonna end this episode here. I think it's been at least like 20-25 minutes at least.
Sure.
So, well, I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to talk to the crewmates real fast just to get all that stuff out of the way. And then probably go do Garrus stuff. So we'll see you guys next time. Yay!